our next episode, we speak to Amy Hollis, the co-owner of Craft 360. She spills the raw truth about burnout, setting boundaries, and building a business without losing yourself.
Hi, I'm Britt.
And I'm Amy, and welcome to the Every Season podcast.
We're here for a fun time, not a long time.
Hopefully we're here for a bit of a long time. Hey, Britt.
Hey, Ames.
Would you say you need some assistance when it comes to being more aware of your body?
Why? What have you got?
Well, you can download our free 7-step female body awareness kit and see if it helps.
Sweet, where?
In the show notes and on our website.
Also, in order for us to be here for a long time,
please subscribe to our podcast. So welcome, Ames. What season would you say you are currently in at the moment?
Season I'm currently in, I would say it's a bit of a selfish one. I don't know if I can say that, but
okay.
I don't know if this is, just as like, I'm trying to like really focus on the business at the moment and really just like try and push that forward. So at the moment, it's kind of just like, I've kind of made a decision to myself that I have to prioritize that at the moment. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if this sounds bad, but I feel like I need to be a bit selfish at the moment and kind of say no to things and just be like, I'm just full on focusing on what I'm doing right now. And
sounds like you're setting your boundaries.
Yeah, but it's very strong. My boundaries are very strong at the moment. So I don't know if you guys have like done that before where you're just like, I just block everything else out for like the next few months and just like, I don't care how it makes me feel, if I feel guilty or whatever, like I'm just gonna, focus in. So that's kind of what season I'm in at the moment.
I love that. You should be super proud of yourself because it's hard. So hard. But yeah, we're definitely, just recently, I mean, Brie, you can speak for yourself, but it's a tough one setting your own boundaries. And like you said, that guilt, like not diving deep into that guilt. But like you said, you got to do what you got to do. And, the people who around you support you will always be there. And that's what you got to do, Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the sooner I can do it, the sooner I can get back to being,
100%.
And not.
Who knows? You might like it. You might like it.
No, keep saying no
all the time. No, sorry.
Have you always been a yes person?
I have. Like, I've always been a people pleaser in a way where, I kind of take things on to fix things for people. Not fix things for people exactly, but like, someone's having a problem and I'm like, I'm here type thing.
Yeah.
Or, and I've just kind of had to be like, I can't do that right now. Like I have to focus on myself at the moment.
And that would be even harder to do, to be honest. When you're a yes person and you want to constantly help people, it's actually harder to set your boundaries. I would say for myself, like Amy said, she wouldn't speak for me before, but like I think over the years, I just don't care. I don't even know if it's about setting my boundaries. Like I just do what I want to do. If I do offend anyone, but it's true. Like I know who's around it. Maybe it's come with age.
That's what I was going to say.
I know my type friendship group, and it is what it is, but like good on you though. Like it is hard to do.
It is hard. I think it's just, like at the moment I just can't help people. Like at the moment I need to just like work on myself and help myself. I can't. I kind of had to admit to myself that I can't be there for everyone. Like I can't. I can't give up what I'm trying to focus on. Not that I would be giving it up, but I'm giving up my focus on what I'm doing to then switch and focus on something else. So I think I just had to admit to myself that maybe I just have to be a bit selfish and not care if I feel guilty or if it comes across as selfish, like just do it. And then not care what other people think about what I'm doing. Yeah.
So based on that, it probably rolls into the next question. Like what does success look like to you? and how has that changed?
Yeah, I think it's kind of shifted from when I started to be like, oh, success in my career and success in what I do. Instead, it's kind of like success in living the way that I want to live. So my dream has gone from like being, a successful entrepreneur or a successful business person or successful in whatever career I chose to do, to being like, I just want to live how I want to live, and no matter how I get there, like that's kind of my goal, and that's my idea of success at the moment. It's not about career, it's just about lifestyle. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it at the moment. I saw that question, I'm like, oh, that's really hard. Like I don't think success has changed for me. Like my goal hasn't really changed, but then I thought about it, I'm like, well, I used to think that success was all about career and all about what you do instead of being like how you live. And I think that comes with doing things that you don't want to do and having to push through a career or a job that you don't want to do and being like, this is not how I want to live. Success for me is not just succeeding in one career or whatever that is. It's about how you live your life and how it aligns with who you are, I think.
Have you always been like that, Ames?
No, I haven't. I think because I've run a couple of businesses in the past, and one of which was a party supplies balloon business. I kind of just got stuck into it. I just fell into it. Like I didn't plan like, oh, this is my dream. I want to run a party business. I want to do balloons. It's like quite the opposite of who I am. And I kind of got stuck in it because of COVID. And because of that, I realized like, this is just like, we were busy, we were doing, we were working busy all weekend, and it just showed me that I'm like, success in one thing can be like, you could just hate what you're doing every day and who you're around. Like, it just made me realize like, this is not how I want to live. Like, and it kind of made me feel like, have an image of how I do want to live and be like, that's what I'm going to aim for. I'm not going to aim for success no matter what it is. It's like, yeah.
I love that because, what's the saying? Like, it's not a destination, it's a journey. And I think we get so caught up in, like I do, I'm going through it, is like you get caught up in like working towards something because you're putting success against, I wouldn't say material things, but like you said, a career or whatever it is. And then like you get there and then you're like, what's next? Do you know what I mean? Like, and like, I like for myself, like I really struggle with that and really trying to look at like you said, how do you live like your life day to day? And I guess focus more so like on the present. They say that like we're human beings, not human doings, but we're doing so much more now that we're actually not being anymore, like it's a tough one.
Yeah, I think
That's all right, I always do this.
Happens to us all the time, don't worry about it.
Just reminded me
the amount of times we've had to cut out in a podcast, oh, I lost my train of thought, and Amy's like, it's coming, it's coming. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
No. And we're persistent individuals too. Yeah,
I had it stuck and then I lost it.
Oh, let us know. Just go for it if it comes back. So you said before, Ames, you've had a couple of different businesses. You're in the party supply kind of event business during COVID. Tell everyone, I guess, what you're doing specifically now. So since like kind of closing that business onto this business specifically.
Yeah, so we run a business called Craft 360, and we sell cosmetic ingredients, so oils, butters, waxes to skincare brands, but also to people who make their own skincare as well. So we sell like essential oils, we sell jojoba oil, castor oil, shea butter. So people will buy our stuff and they'll either make it for their business or they will make it for themselves. So that's what we do at the moment. We transitioned from the party supplies into this, which is a bit of a big change. At that time, we were also doing packaging in this business. So we were selling like bottles and pumps and sprayers and stuff for businesses, mainly like in bulk. So we'd import them and then sell them wholesale. But we've since stopped that and we're just doing ingredients.
So why cosmetics? Like, what was the gap that you guys identified? Because coming from obviously party supplies to this is quite, what, like, I guess they're two completely different businesses, so to speak, like from an outsider looking in. So why this industry specifically?
I think we saw a big gap in, it was pretty simple. Like we saw a big gap in the service of B2B, and specifically in this industry.
Yep.
I don't know, like you've dealt with a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
And I just we both found that it just we've dealt with a lot of big suppliers and big wholesalers, and it's just like you can't even get them on the phone. You can't, like, you're trying to pay them money for their service or for their product and they won't even answer the phone to you. And it's just, we found that just the service wasn't there. They're not very flexible, so it's kind of like hard for anyone to start and be like, I'm a small business, so I need X, Y, Z, and they just can't. They just no flexibility. And yeah, we just found like as a business that was really hard to deal with, and we kind of just like fell into what we were doing. We also saw a gap in this particular market in how businesses dealt with other businesses. And so we're like, well, let's go into this. And also through that, we discovered how much we enjoy speaking with businesses as well and, working with them. So we did find kind of a love for being B2B, but also I also love like skincare and all that sort of stuff too. So we haven't always been where we are at the moment. It's kind of been a transition more towards focusing on skincare and cosmetics and stuff, because I think my love of that has kind of shifted that way. And doing a lot of stuff that we're doing now, I find like I'm really enjoying it day to day. So
when you say you do the skincare, do you supply the product? Like, do you get it imported or do you supply that product? Like, how does that work? Just so I have a good understanding of it.
Yeah, so we supply businesses like jojoba oil, which is the pure jojoba oil, and they will make that product into their product. So they'll buy other ingredients from us, like shea butter, and then they'll make like a body butter, and then they'll sell that product to their customers. So we basically sell to skincare brands.
Wow, so they get your product and then they add their ingredients into your product.
Yeah.
So like if you look at the deodorant B, right? So I worked with a manufacturer to create that deodorant, but that manufacturer needed raw materials and ingredients to make that deodorant. That's where Ames's business comes in, because they purchase those raw materials from Ames's business to make the deodorant. Or if you've got, for example, if I was making my homemade deodorant, I could go to Ames, because a lot of these like manufacturers and all that type of stuff have massive MOQs. Like I got hung up on multiple times being like, no, you're fucking too small, because these MOQs are like, you've got to order 10,000 units. And if you're a small business like we are, you don't have the money to fork out. So if I was making the deodorant from home and creating it, I could purchase the ingredients I need from Ames, depending on the ingredients they have, and then make the deodorant essentially.
Yeah, cool. And you're like, how do people contact you? Is it easy to do that? Like you say all the biggest suppliers. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So we've got, I mean, you can just purchase online on our website, but you can call us. Like it's almost like a negative to an extent. Like it's hard, but we always answer the phone. It's like no matter what. I mean, unless we're in the toilet or whatever, but we will basically always answer the phone.
Love that.
Or the emails, like, I don't know. I just find like I found one thing that I've learned. I mean, I've learned lots of things, but a big thing that I've learned is like the sooner that you get back to someone, or as soon as you answer that phone, you've got like a 90% chance that they're going to purchase from you. If you let it ring out and you let it go to voicemail, they're probably just going to go straight to someone else, and then they'll just buy from them. Yeah, that's one thing that I've found most effective.
Sense
What
of
have you
urgency.
found? But yeah, what have you found the most hardest thing since you've done it?
Since I've done this business as a whole,
Yeah.
that's a hard one. I think I'm very much
Of
like
building
an all or
it,
nothing.
so like from what you've like obviously from what you went to party supplies, etc., like to start this business from scratch and build it, what has been the biggest challenge?
I think that's because we started with no investment, no loan, no savings, and building it from nothing was the hardest thing because you buy, I mean, we maybe had a couple of $100 that we put towards product. We bought that product, we sold that product, we bought more, we sold that product, we bought more. Like we just did it organically, and I think that has been the hardest thing. And I think if we were to do it again, I would do that differently because it's just, I mean, we didn't have money to put into it, but I think I would have been like, I'm just going to get a job, I'm going to save, and then I'm going to put that money into it. But in saying that as well, like we've learnt so much by doing it that way because it's been so low risk. So it's been like, oh, let's put money into this product. We put it into that product, doesn't work. We move into this product. That doesn't work. We move into this product. So it's kind of, it has its benefits, but it's also, that's probably been the hardest thing, I think. Also, just normal growth. Like starting this business, I kind of assumed that like, oh yeah, word of mouth, that's what will grow your business. But it's just, that's the slowest way to grow your business. And I came into it being like, yeah, word of mouth, as long as we're a great business, we do great service, like we will succeed. But it's like, no, you've got to get it out there. You've got to spend money to get your brand out there. So I think growth is the hardest thing.
What's the biggest sacrifice you've made through that, like throughout the years?
I think I'm very much like an all or nothing person. So I have sacrificed a lot because I've dedicated my whole time to this. So, when we were growing, like I wasn't earning enough outside of it. So I think that's made it very hard personally to just in that journey, to do that. That was very hard. I think if I was to tell people, starting out, I would be like, just get your, I don't know, personal wealth,
Financing,
sorted to an extent. Like, you don't have to have massive amounts of money, but just, figure it out a little bit so then you can so you don't have that stress as well at the same time as trying to grow a business, I think.
You just made it like, Britt loves when I say this, a little bit controversial. But I'm finding that I'm all for everyone going and doing business, right? And I admire you. We've got we've got a friendship that I look up to people like yourself. We were catching up while I was still working, and now I'm working full time into season. It's fucking hard. It is fucking hard. And I feel as though people, like, I've had people who've said to me, oh, you just say you want a business and you want to do that and it's all for the show and blah, 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 blah. They can say what they want because I've gone ahead and I've just gone and done what I've done. But I feel like nowadays, like, every man and his dog of some sort is quitting their job and starting a business, which I'm all for. I'm not like, that is fantastic. But I feel as though people are doing it for the aesthetics because, like, I've had so many people be like, Ames, you need to generate content. And, like, me and Britt are calling each other. I haven't worn makeup for ages. I'm, like, in trackies. I'm wearing the same fucking top I wore for a whole week. Like, and I'm like, how am I supposed to be doing content?
Got no money.
Well, I have no money. I'm still doing tuna and rice. And as much as Britt wants me to get the more expensive one, I don't have the money for it. So, like, I think, like, you're so right there. Like, I don't know, like, it is so hard. Like, how long have you been doing this for? How many years? Like, on your own?
Full time I've been doing it. I mean, because we had the party business for a couple of years. I was doing that full time for a couple of years. And then I shifted into this full time 2 years. I think I've been doing this current business. So all up, I've been full time probably like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster because, you know, we've done the party business and then we completely shifted away from that. It was more of like a mental health thing. Like, I could no longer keep up this facade that I wanted to do that business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we just have to stop. Then we built this business up while trying to, like, wind down that business, which was a massive effort. And then we got into this business. We started doing this business and we did the packaging as well as the ingredients. And 6 months to 8 months ago, we decided, like, we can't do the packaging anymore. It was kind of like stunting our growth. And that in itself, 68% of our revenue was packaging at that time. And we just decided to just, like, stop it. And we didn't stop it immediately. We kind of did the same thing. Like, we wound that down and then built up the ingredients a bit more. So it was like a balance. But yeah, I think what was the topic I was going to say?
It sounds so hard. Like Amy said, it is hard. And what you've gone through, at least you've listened to what needs to happen, because a lot of people just keep going until they completely burn out and then they just put their hands up in the air. It's like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, at least you've listened to yourself, because no matter what, let's say that this doesn't work out for you, which it definitely most likely is going to, but, like, you at least have, like, that emotional intelligence to be like, hey, this is not for me. Like, this packaging did not suit the brand, or we weren't making enough money. Let's cut that and let's just focus on this product, which is, like, a massive thing to do. But, like, have you ever had that moment where you sit there and you're like, stuff this, like, I'm out of all of it? Have you ever had that? You have.
Yeah, so many times.
So what do you do? What give us advice, like, what do you actually do?
So it depends on how, like, for instance, for the packaging, you just, like, know time after time, if you're doing something and you're just constantly almost hitting your head against a wall, trying to do this thing that just because you're continuing to do it, you're coming up with issues left, right, and center. Like, you know, it's just the type of industry that problems happen. And since we stopped doing the packaging, we've spoken to a lot of our suppliers and been like, oh yeah, we decided to stop because of all the issues with this industry. And the issues are just like, just to give you a quick context, a lot of people will use, like, spray caps, which is what we sold, like an atomizer, for, like, a room spray or for, like, a perfume or whatever. But the stuff that they put in their product doesn't work with that spray cap, and it will actually damage the spray cap. And so then they'll say, oh, your spray cap doesn't work. And we'll be like, actually, you know, you need to use a solubilizer, which helps with that product working with your spray cap. That might be a bit complicated, but anyway.
It's like putting the
Basically,
deodorant, essentially, putting the deodorant in a spray bottle, and then me going to Amy's being like, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
So-
it's the formula. Like, you know what I mean? There's certain, like you said, certain
You need
ingredients that need to
Yeah, you
work
need to be-
with the packaging.
You need like a chemist to advise you on how to mix oil and water so that it doesn't damage the spray cap. So anyway, there's a lot of issues with that sort of stuff in that industry, and we know that now because our suppliers have since told us, like, oh yeah, good on you, like there's so many issues in this business, like, you know, you're probably like so right with getting out of this industry.
And people wouldn't even think of that, would they? They wouldn't even think that that would be an issue. Like, I would have
No.
thought that. That's for sure.
No. Well, we're like, oh yeah, we'll bring this product in from a reputable supplier, we'll sell it, and you know, it'll be good. But then there's all these things that you don't think about.
And it
So,
takes time as
yeah.
well. Hey, Ames. Like, I mean, even you separate. Like,
Figure it out.
So many people are like, you know, where are more scents? Where's this? Where's that? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, it's, you know, there's so much behind the scenes of building businesses, and there's so many businesses that like fail. Do you know what I mean? Or like, and it's like, I like, again, great that everyone wants to do it, but like, are people, you know, people willing to do it? Like, Ames, you've done it for 5 years. Like you said, you've so many times where you like hit yourself against the wall being like, can I do this? Mate, it's been fucking 2 months since we've left. I reckon I've had it about.
It sounds like Amy's about out. I don't know, guys.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's hard because you don't see that. Like, Ames has done it for 5 years, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I commend you for what you've done, and I don't think people like yourself you don't do it for the credit or validation, but you don't get enough. Whereas, like, what I've seen over the last couple of months, everyone thinks I'm fucking killing it. Everyone thinks like we're coming out to podcasts every day. We've got this billboard. No one actually understands what is happening behind the scenes, you know? And even like you can put shit up on social media, but even then, everything on social media right now is behind the scenes of it's all created to make it look quite nice.
Yeah.
But
Like you're
it's
succeeding
not
or whatever.
nice.
Like,
Why are you giving all our secrets away, Amy? Why?
I mean,
Because
to be
it's all
honest,
about
Amy, when
storytelling.
you-
Do you know what I mean?
Well, when I saw you're like doing the billboard, the podcast, I'm like, oh my God, like he's like overtaking me. Like, what am I doing here?
Oh, never. I mean, like, look, and like I'm joking. It's just like reality is that, like, you know,
You just don't know what's happening.
No, and I think it's just
it's
more
not like
of
we're
a
sitting there sipping pina coladas and like taking selfies. And
Even though we
putting
went to
content on.
Dalsford.
It's a great.
Yeah, like, and it is, but there's so many, you know, I think you've got to, I guess where I'm coming from is like, you've got to be a certain individual to push through this. Because, like, yes, there are incredible times, and like the last 2 months have been the best of my life, but it's also been like the toughest too, you know? So like, I think it's important to, you know, reality is like, you've got to fucking hustle. It is going to be hard. There are going to be times where you're looking at yourself being like, oh my God, what am I doing? But you've just got this fire in you that just keeps you going, you know? And I think like,
Well, it does.
yeah.
I think, you know, back to the original question was like, what do you do when you just feel like, yeah, I'm done? Like, I think with the packaging, I knew this is done. I can't do this anymore. You just know deep down that like I'm done with that. But every time with this business in general, like you just have a bad day, a bad week, and you're like, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. You just have to like, but then I'm like, oh, well, what if I just gave up right now? You have to like almost entertain the thought of just giving up and be like, well, if I gave up right now, would I be proud of myself? Or like, how would I feel about that? And I feel like if I gave up right now, I wouldn't feel like I've given it everything, even though I have given it everything. I feel like there's so much more to try. And if I feel like that, I just can't give up. I can't. So,
No.
I don't know.
I love that.
I love that
That's
mindset.
actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually
I was
never...
just thinking that's really, really good. I would never think like that, to be honest.
No,
'cause
now
it
you've opened
entertains the
my
thought.
mind up.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting you say that. I never, because that's what I was thinking. I think like for me, and it's just like more so like, oh, like I've got this like, you know, I want to empower people and stuff, and that's what kind of keeps me going. But I think that's a really good way of putting it. Of like, okay,
like
cool.
entertaining the thought of it, yeah,
Yeah,
and then
'cause
kind of
Well,
writing it.
what if I
It's
did
like
give
writing
up?
it
How
down
would I feel?
backwards, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually
Yeah,
like that because
yeah.
like I would normally look, I don't go down that path because I find that quite negative. But like, do you know what I mean? But now you've said that, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, that's actually, I like that.
Nah, the other Amy's put a positive spin on it, that's for sure. Like, you write
kind
down,
of like-
okay, what if I do quit? This is what would happen this is how I would feel. Maybe I'm not at that point yet. I think it's good.
Oh, yeah,
I
just
love
to
it.
make very
a
clear, I ain't fucking
reality
quitting.
check. It gives you a reality check on what your actual thoughts and feelings are. I think. Whereas just kind of like push through and be like, no, like I'm gonna keep going, and then you just, I don't know. I just think like having like a real talk with yourself, like, okay, what if I did quit? How would I feel, or what would I do? I think that's kind of, yeah, that's what gets me out of. And then I'm like, okay, we'll stop complaining and just get on with it, you know?
It's a great little tool, Amy. I hope everyone hears that or takes that message away from this potty for sure.
Ames, I guess it kind of ties in with that in particularly, but like, what advice would you give someone who's like chasing their dreams, who've just started? Like, what advice would you give Britt and I? Because like you've been in it for 5 years. Do you know what I mean, Ames? I think like you should give you credit because like that is hard. It it is hard. You know, the sacrifices that you've made, and like even like what Britt said, in order for you've been able just to shift. Okay, this is not working. Got to shift, and I got to shift, and got to shift. That's why setting your boundaries is so important. But yeah, for someone like, you know, me and Britt who have just done this, or someone who's looking to do this, like what advice would you give them?
I think it's basically like would be within that realm. Like, don't be afraid to just completely sift what you're doing, or you know, you're not like giving up on the idea that you had. You're improving on it, and I think whether that's through like customer demand, like you don't really want to base everything that you decide on customers saying like, oh, what about this? Can I have this? Or can you bring this out instead? Or like that, we've done that a lot in terms of asking customers, what do you want? They tell us, we bring it in, and then they don't buy it from us. It's like, are you serious? But I think just reading the signs, and it's almost like you've got to feel your own feeling towards something and be like, this doesn't feel right. Obviously do your numbers and your due diligence on what's working in your business and what's not. But don't be afraid to just sift and be agile and be like, you know what, that's not working for me. So I'm not going to do that anymore. That's not working for our numbers. Like, we just need to cut that. Or, you know, or moving into something as well. It's not just about cutting things out. It's about, you know, maybe something will work better for what you're trying to do, and don't just be stuck in what you're trying to achieve. And you're like, you write a business plan, and I always thought like going through uni was like, you write a business plan, that's it, you stick to it. It's like, they don't tell you that like you should literally write a new business plan like every month. Like sit down and be like, just write it all out, and something will change every month.
100%.
You know, like
it's
how
like
you're gonna.
No, you go.
It's like how you're gonna reach customers. Like, you have this realization of like, oh my gosh, I can reach these customers through this way or through this way, and like there's something that's constantly changing.
It is. I think it's the ability to adapt. You know, like I think there's so many important traits, or like, you know, that you need to build what you're building, and I think, or what you have built as well, and that ability to adapt is so important, because you don't have control. You know, what control you do have is the choices that you make and the opportunities that you seek. And I think that is such an important mindset to have when, you know, when starting, when growing and scaling a business, you know.
I think what you guys have done well, from what I've heard from you guys, is like you are putting yourself out there as well, and like meeting people and being more like seeking advice from people who have done it before. That's one thing that I know that you know that I struggle with, is I haven't like gone out and like just said like, can you help me, or can you advise me, or just give me your insight. Like that's one thing that every time I go to ask people for help or advice, like I'm like, shit, like I wish I did that 6 months ago. Like it's just, I think that's one thing I wish I did more of, and I do need to do more of. But in saying that, we've also got advice from people in the past, and it's just been like soul destroying, and it has not been useful, and it has not been helpful at all. So you have to be careful with who you can talk to, as many people as you want, but just vet what they say. And I mean, if it offends you, maybe like we've had plenty of advice that has offended us, and be like, how dare you say that about our business? But then a month later, we're like, they were totally right. but then
100%.
sometimes they offend you, and you're like, they were totally wrong. So you know, you just have to be careful with who you get advice from, and what kind of advice that you accept as well.
Well, I think you're right, because I think one thing I learned throughout my years of working was like, yes, of course, your business is your baby, but you also have to be able to step away from the emotion, because there's no way you can grow or scale it if, you know, if someone gives you constructive criticism. It's even not just business, that's in life. So you definitely have that open mind. But I'm with you, Ames, because my cousin said this to me the other day. I think a lot of people fixate on having like a mentor or an advisor and all that type of stuff.
Or a coach,
or a coach and stuff like that, which is, you know, some people might need it, but people I think fixate on it, spend a lot of money, and it's just something that does not, like, you really at the end of the day, you just got to do. It all comes through action, you know, and like you said, listening to people, being open-minded, asking the questions, not being scared of that, because like, I mean, like what Bryn and I say, what's the worst thing could happen? They just say no. Do you know what I mean? Like people asking like, how are you getting these people on the podcast and stuff, and we're just asking, like, you know, that we might not get a reply, but if you send 100, like we're sending messages out for season leaders at the moment to these big influencers who probably have no clue who we are and probably don't care. But if I'm going to send out 100 messages, I'm going to at least get 1 or 2 back, and those 1 or 2, if they're the right fit and they believe in the brand and they're people that want to make the world a better place, I want to get to know them, you know. So I think like I think asking questions and stuff, and we've had this discussion, is so important. Because people do want to give advice, people do want to help people, but it's not fixating on it, because at the end of the day, whether or not you have a mentor or not, you've just got to do, you've just got to action, and then things will come, people come into your life, and like you said, and then take it from there. So
I think you in saying that, I'm like, you're such a salesperson, like not getting frightened by like the no's. I think that is one thing that I wish. Like, I don't know. I think that's a good experience to have, in that, like, you just have to put it out there, and then whatever comes back. But, like, you know, it's not personal if they don't get back to you. It's just, like, they're just not in the right place to be like, yes.
I think the mentality always...
Sorry.
No, that's right. The mentality I always like to say is it's their loss. Always. If you have that in your brain, it's their loss, then that's what helped me. Now I couldn't give a shit, but like back then I was just like, it's their loss, whatever. I'll connect with people who want to connect with our brand, and I know what our intentions are, so that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, B.
No, I was just going to say, you're probably naturally doing it though, Ames, because when you're shifting, right? So like like Amy's saying, you just got to do it. You're doing it and you know it's not working, so then you're shifting it. And then you're doing and you know that's not working, then shifting it. And now what you're doing right now is working. And you just got to keep doing it, right? So you're naturally probably doing it. You don't need to be a salesperson to do that. Like at the end of the day, you just got to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty like good at forgetting or putting things behind me. Like I'm not someone who dwells on like, oh, that didn't work. I'm going to feel shit about it for 2 months. I'm like, well, that didn't work. Let's try this. Let's try this.
Yeah.
It's good to have in this.
100. Well, you have to have it. Do you know what I mean? That's why you've been able to build what you've built. So you should be super proud. But Ames, this has been a fantastic chat. Thanks so much for jumping on the podcast. For people for people who want to find out more about your business, or you know they're looking at wanting to create something and needing obviously raw materials or cosmetic materials, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, so you can visit our website craft360.com.au or email us at info@craft360.com.au or find us on Instagram or whatever.
Cool.
Either way.
Thanks, Ames. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy. Howdy, it's us again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
Don't forget to download the awareness kit and subscribe to the podcast. Have a fabulous day.